Yes, I think I can only speak from my own experience, but as I read the material in this module, I found it very challenging. And I think it's obvious for that reason, because I am white, I am male, I am educated, I am middle class, and those perspectives on the world tend to be treated as normal. That's how people tend to think, unless you happen not to be white, middle class, educated, male. And I think it's quite tough to have the normal that you're used to challenged. It's quite painful to be told that the perspective that you were brought up to believe was, if you like, the right one or the normal one, when in fact it isn't. It's just another one. It's just another perspective. That there are plenty of other ways of looking at the world, and the one that I was brought up to believe was the right one. That loss of privilege is costly. And one tends to resist it and get cross with it and deny the validity of it and say, there must be another way of thinking. That can't be right, because it hurts, because it makes you feel that you've got it wrong. But you didn't ask to be white, you didn't ask to be middle class, you didn't ask to be educated or rich or all the other things. And you feel it's unfair. How can I be told off for being who I am? But of course that's not what this module is trying to do. It's not saying it's wrong to be those things, it's just saying it isn't necessarily the only way of being. It's offering a freedom from something that crushes variety. And the freedom is to see that there is a richness of points of view in the world, a wealth of different experiences. There is a generosity in the gospel that says, if you let go of precious privilege that isn't really yours to have in the first place, you are gifted with a whole new world that's full of good stuff, that's full of rich stuff for us. As a preacher, I suppose one of the temptations is to look for a bit of moral high ground, run up it, and lob bricks at people who are getting it wrong. And yet that's not how I think we see Jesus ever behaving. We were thinking about the rich young man at some point in the course, and the rich young man who went away made Jesus sad. He was sad because the goodness of the gospel, which the rich young man at that point couldn't see, was being denied him. He had rejected him. And I think that sadness says a lot about our preaching style and how we deal with ourselves when we are getting things wrong or not seeing the point, and allowing us in that gentleness to come more slowly perhaps than others would want of us, to see the point of view of Jesus and the point of view of others in the world. We're not sure he didn't come back, the rich young man. He may well have done. And I think that's what I have found in my own reading of material from other people's points of view, is that my initial resistance I did overcome, or I am overcoming, and I'm learning such a lot from it. And in my preaching, I have learned to be a little bit more gentle with people and not be quite so critical when people are struggling.